Ah, okay. All right.
We'll do it live.
I think it's there.
Showing live on my end.
Yeah, showing live over here
I'm
too.
going to YouTube, seeing if it says it. Sometimes, Greg, I don't believe it. Man, you
Yeah.
got gypped a whole dollar today.
I lost $1. Some guy haggled me. I hate those negotiators.
We should just talk about how Greg got ripped $1 today. We got Raleigh Spencer up. We're talking about how Greg lost $1.
Because I didn't have change.
Hey, when
I
they
don't
do that, they put you on the spot.
I mean, when people say that if they try to haggle you, you just got to tell them no. I mean, my price is my price. I don't care if it's $1. Go to the store. He said, "Go to the bank, man. You got ATM."
No, I just said, all right, yeah, we'll take it. That's close. So,
Just charge him 76 next time.
How
Yeah.
long was this lawn, Greg?
oh, I probably spent maybe a half an hour there. So
No, that's not bad.
no, it hadn't been cut in a couple weeks.
Was his
Yeah.
mower down?
His wife actually passed away.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
was
Okay, yeah.
he had been spending all his time with her, and she passed away about a week prior, and he hadn't he wasn't able to mow for a couple of weeks, so he came over and asked me, and I said sure. So but it was a little bit long, and so I cut it, and then because it was long, I cut it a little high, and
Oh,
then
I
I
would, yeah.
looked at it going, gee, I just don't like it. I'll cut it. I took it down another quarter inch, and it looked a lot better. So, but I will say though that the deck on my 61, because the 52 is in the shop, is
Yeah.
different height than the height on my the 61 and 52 are different heights. So at
Oh,
three
sure.
and a half, I don't know what that. Am I hearing sound in the background or something?
It might be
Yeah.
Raleigh. Hey, mute yourself if you don't talk. I think it's
Oh.
a background noise.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
hearing
my wife's
somebody.
talking to somebody.
Yeah, I can hear her talking. But I
Really?
excuse me, I lost my train of thought. I no, my 61 is a little bit shorter than at 3 1/4 than
Yeah.
that 52 is. So
Oh, really?
the 52 I think
Okay.
is true height,
Yeah.
and I think the 61 is a little short. So when I got to a lot of my lawns today were long because I was cutting everything last week on that 52, so everything was a little bit longer.
Interesting. Yeah, now because when I had the Bobcat 52, this is a great segue because Raleigh's looking at a 54-inch mower for his Kentucky Blue. I don't have that drop in here. Can you do one of the live Kentucky Blue? Oh yes, Greg, for us.
Kentucky Blue, oh yeah.
So yeah, Greg, I was cutting on 325 on the Bobcat 52, and I felt like that was about 3.5 on the Multi-Force. So
Probably,
And-
yep.
is what it is. I came back from up north. I mowed Monday through Wednesday last week, and then got away, and then I'm completing my route. And ironically, my lawns aren't that bad or long because I kind of scalped them down before I left. But Raleigh, why don't you tell listeners? I found it cool. You've demoed a lot of different mowers, and you're trying some things that work on your Kentucky weed grass, aren't you?
Yeah, it's weeds all down here. It's terrible. I got a Skag mower right now, and I was noticing on it today that I remember in the past Skag usually does stripe really good, and I was thinking like, man, this thing it's never striped very good. And then I was looking at it, and I was like, I think whoever
Really?
wrote this deck,
Sorry,
yes,
I did not mean to hit that. Sorry.
no, really, but
Well timed though.
yeah,
That one I did actually not mean to do. Sorry, Greg. I wasn't trying to. All right, keep going. Sorry.
But I think the deck, whoever leveled it out, I think it's like almost perfectly level. So I don't think it has much of a rake and pitch on it. So I was like, man, maybe that's why, because it looks like it's not pitched at all. So, but it cuts really good. It just doesn't stripe. So, gonna try to use it more this week. And then that right, a 72 is good on your big properties, but
Oh yeah.
that thing, it scalps like all over the place.
Oh, sure.
Uh, it's awful. And what I do when I scalp, I mean, generally, like I like to try to at least fix it a little bit with a trimmer. I mean, I don't like it to look
Yeah,
gapped all
feather it
over.
in. That's what I try to do.
Right, but that just takes up all your time. So all the time that you spent on the mower saving time, well, I mean, then you're going over the yard fixing all the problems that you created. So I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Is the lawn? Is that lawn got a lot of undulation in it, a lot of dips and things as
Oh yeah, a
well?
lot
Or?
of my lawns are like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, I tried out the 61-inch stand-on bad boy mower, and it cut amazing. I mean, it had dual blades on it, and you know, it really wasn't. I don't know why they didn't service the thing before they gave it to me, but it still cut really good. And then I was thinking about it, and I think I'm just gonna get the 54 with a 31 horse Kawasaki. I mean, it'll blow through everything. I'll probably almost be able to cut on transport speed. So
Ah, look at that transport speed. There's somebody
Hey, look
cutting
at
on
that.
transport speed, huh?
Our fellow transport speed cutter right there, guys. Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I found I have better control cutting on transport speed. That's hard to say, transport speed, and then I do on
Transporter.
cut speed. So I cut straighter lines on
Mm.
transport than I do on cut.
oh well.
Do you think the same?
Probably
Raleigh?
just the hydros,
Uh,
right?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I was cutting full transport speed with the 61, but the tracking on that mower is like super good. I mean, on the Skag, I'm literally like jerking all around, about to give myself a neck a neck injury.
Was that your walk behind skag? Sorry, rider skag, right?
Yeah, that's my rider, and then my right is of course, the standard. But
Miles says grasshopper, nothing better.
I get that out of here.
Oh man.
You know, I've spoken with a couple of guys that have run grasshoppers. I've run into a few. They love them. The guys on a grasshopper, they just love those. It's interesting. Why is that, Miles? Let us know.
Yeah, you know, Andy Wilson with the Lawn Hustle has a grasshopper and he loves it. I think
Yeah.
he's got kind of like a partnership with him too. But I've seen him and seen Andy's stripes and they look real good. I mean, I don't see any guys up here in Michigan cutting with the grasshoppers. You got any guys down there in Kentucky? Probably
Yeah,
with
there's
the-
actually several
Yeah?
guys around me that actually use grasshopper, which is weird because I don't know of any grasshopper dealers around here.
Huh.
So
Wow.
I don't know where they're going to get their grasshopper mowers.
So what's this? So let's touch on this more. This 54. You
Mhm.
think this is going to be your sweet spot here for your lawns because you were butchering with your right 72. You're going to sell that, get rid of it, and then you have your Skag rider that you'll keep as your backup. But you think you're going to cut over these Kentucky Hill lawns better with the 54?
Yeah, I think the 54 will be a lot better because even a 60, even when I was demoing that bad boy 61, it would still scalp some on the lawns that I was doing.
Yeah.
So the 54, I think, will just go over all the stuff better. And there's some places where I'm having to trim a lot that I could get back into with the 54. So, and I mean, I was looking at it. My Skag, it's a 61. So there's
Yeah.
not really much of a point of me getting another 61.
No. What's the brand then again?
It's a bad boy.
Okay, sorry, you said that bad boy. I was doing some audio mixing here, still on the fly. Bad boy. We see them at the expo, Greg. I think their mowers do look pretty bad, don't they? They look pretty they're like pretty bad apple, aren't they?
Oh, they're good looking more. And then our friend over at Newsmax had his bad boy too, right?
Didn't Carl Higby have one?
Carl,
I'd go
yeah.
back to listen to that segment there again.
Carl
I think he
Higby had
one.
his bad boy. He was a big
Really?
fan of the bad boy. Yeah. So I just looked up locally here who carries the grasshopper. This you won't care here. The closest for me is Belleville, which
Okay,
is
it's
downriver, which is kind of
downriver.
a long
Michigan's
way away.
down,
There's a
yeah.
place in Lansing, Owasso, Dryden so there's really nothing close by you. What's your zip there, Raleigh?
41301. I'm like, oh man, I said, I mean, it's only a few hours from me. I mean, I could probably go up there and get one.
Miles says that the Grasshopper has the best bagging system I have ever had in 25 years. Okay, sounds like Miles has been mowing quite the bit. That's good to know. I mean, we talk about bagging systems, Raleigh. When I had my X-Mark Rider, I had the triple, Ultra Vac, and that thing was great. I kept the impeller in good shape, and only really ever got clogged up on wet leaves. I can't really afford to get the bagging system on the Multi-Force yet. Man, they have gone way up in price. They used to be, Greg, like the X-Mark triple bag system was $2,700. Now everything's like $4,000, over $4,000.
Oh yeah,
Just crazy.
I'm sorry. What was your zip again, Raleigh?
41301.
301. Okay.
41301. See where they are. I'll get Bad Boy on the show and say, hey, this is Raleigh Spencer. He's been demoing demoed one of yours, and he's probably going to get one. So now, did you say, Raleigh, that you're going to be getting one? Was it later on this year? Because still right.
Probably like towards the end of this year or the very early part of next year. I'm going to figure out if they're going to have any sales going on, but I've heard mixed reviews with the Bad Boy. Like I know one guy that owns one and does commercial, and he loves it. I got baby crying back here.
That's great.
But,
Brooklyn.
But so it was. I lost my train of thought. But no, it cuts super good. I mean, the dispersion is amazing on it. I don't know. They might have had a bad reputation, and I don't know about the higher ups, but I think the mower itself's pretty good mower. I mean, from what I can do.
And that's big for you because I was kind of busting your chops, Raleigh. I'm like, you like literally cut just weeds down there. There's no fertilized turf down there, is it? Just like you were showing me some pictures. I'm like, man, because Greg, we have a couple lawns where I have one lawn where it's basically all weeds, but weeds grow faster than the I guess fertilized turf, don't they? Doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I got one lawn. It's literally just, I mean, it's some grass, I guess, whatever. It's not normal grass. It's probably just wild grass, whatever, that people plant. And then it's all these little stalks sticking up out of the ground and clover. I got a yard that's full of clover. So it's super thick. It's annoying to mow.
That's a weird smell, the clover too.
Oh yeah.
That's just an odd smell. And I'll be riding along. I have clover. Darn it.
You got any clover lawns, Greg? Your lawns are thick, Greg. You have any clover lawns?
Not full clover lawns, but actually that's do you remember Steve? We were talking to Steve about that, and he was talking about how people are buying he was talking about how people were buying clover seed to do their entire lawn and that.
For like front yards and then barely have to mow it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it stays low to the ground but I had some friends of mine that were thinking about they're up north and they were looking at grasses, and I said, well, hey, consider clover. And then I hit one of my lawns that had just a ton of clover, and I said, yeah, no, I hope they didn't put the clover in. So
I don't know what kind of clover they're using up there, but I'll tell you what, down here that stuff's thick.
Well, yeah, it just depends on how much time it's had time to grow. So.
Send me a picture of the clover, Raleigh, next time you're out there mowing, because I mean, I have one backyard that's clover. Doesn't the clover have the little white balls that pop up? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, probably.
Clover. It's a different type of weed.
Yeah, that's a white clover.
Okay.
And they have a purple clover. There's a few different kind of clovers.
Miles says X-Mark fell apart as well. I enjoy bagging grass now. Man, you couldn't pay me, Raleigh.
No.
Do you have any clients that make you bag grass? I'd say nope.
No, for what they want to pay, there ain't getting no bagging.
You ever bagged, Greg? I don't know.
I do not. I had one guy that asked me to bag for him, and I said, no, I don't bag. And actually, I'm glad. There's no way I would have put a bagger in his lawn. You actually, you aerated his lawn last year. He was one that you were by yourself because I had to go somewhere, and you had actually texted me and said that lawn was a nightmare. Hope you're getting $50 to mow his lawn. I don't know if you remember. And
was that your buddy from high school?
No, no, it's a different guy. He was probably the next one you did after that. But it was
Oh.
like on a hill. You had a
Oh
hill in the
yeah.
backyard.
Greg had one of these. It's like a half pipe lawn there in the back where it's like hill down flat and it kind of tapers off. Is it by like that lake that was there?
No, it wasn't like it had arborvitaes in the backyard, all along the backyard line.
I'm trying to remember that.
So,
Yo.
but it was a kind of a steep hill. You had to go over the neighbor's driveway to get to the backyard.
Oh man, some of these. Greg had some nice irrigated lawns, but some of the undulations were up and down. I almost flipped that poor aerator there a couple of times, Raleigh. So it's a Z Aerate 24. It's a standout. It's great. It's got the front weight, but a couple of times, Greg, you saw it once where I popped the front wheels up like about 2 feet on that, got off that, and ran to the hills. I ran away like this. I just got off of that and just ran away pretty quickly. But
That's
it's scary.
That doesn't sound quick.
No, it sounds like I'm slow trying to run away.
By the way, backing up, a Grasshopper, the closest Grasshopper dealer for Raleigh is 45 minutes away. Advanced
wow.
Turf Equipment, if you're familiar with them, Winchester, Kentucky.
Oh,
Wait.
okay. I know the city. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Basically, any dealer around me is like 45 minutes away. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah,
Man, Greg, we have it made up here, right?
yeah. I've got Wheels and Blades is about 15 minutes away from me, and you've got Weingart's close to you. So,
Weingart's and Mark's Outdoor Power. I don't go there, but I buy everything from Schleybaugh now. Steve Stutzman, shout out to him. He'll ship things over in one day. It's like I don't even want to drive over there. I'm just cheap. So you're gonna be selling this right, Raleigh, because you just didn't like. I mean, I saw a couple pictures like you were trimming. You did a video where you were trimming this one part of your lawn, and I first made the comment. I was like, well, I had said, why isn't he putting the mower on it? And I'm like, wait, hold on, that's a lot steeper than it looks.
Yeah.
Right. This
Yeah.
one section, I'm like, why isn't he? Why is he mowing that? I guarantee you, it's a lot steeper, and I'd be the dipwad who would try to put the multi-force on there, and it would tumble into the river or into the woods.
yeah, well, down at the bottom of that hill was like a drop off ditch. So, like, if it lost traction, I mean, the mower's flipping. And,
really,
yeah, so it's just a rough spot. Like, when I get the bad boy, I mean, I'm going to probably do what they say not to do, and I'm going to take out the safety switch so that I can use it as a walk behind.
Oh,
I
sure,
should be
yeah.
able to use it as a walk behind. Then I'm also going to check out Bradley too while I'm there. But as Aaron was talking about, I don't think the grass dispersion is very good with that, and I don't think that's
Like
going to do no
discharge
good.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that, Bradley, Greg? Aaron's been talking about it a lot, and then Raleigh has too. I'm kind of liking what Bradley's doing there because Aaron was talking about how they're going to put that 33 horsepower on him.
36.
36.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
even
I'm
better.
I'm kind of interested in that, and for the price point, and the guys over at Bradley Mowers there, Simon's one of the main guys who works for him.
Mm-hmm.
I might consider honestly sell the Cub Cadet Pro X660 and then get the Bradley for a backup and keep the multi-force and then just swap out the engine. Miles says, love the Ferris stand on the Z3X, but Grasshopper has a bad apple standard also. Yeah, that's I think Andy has a standard. Grasshopper standard. I don't even know the model number, but I think Grasshopper's been around for a long time. You know what I keep thinking of Grasshopper when you say Grasshopper, it's like the Dixie Chopper.
Mm-hmm.
Were they at the expo?
Yeah, I
at the
think so.
expo
I'm
last year?
sure they were.
Yeah,
They're still a pretty. I mean, I don't know how well known they are now, but they still are operating.
because the Dixie Chopper always got the award for the fastest mower out there. I thought Skag was pretty close. Like your Skag 61 Rally, that's a rider. That
Yeah.
thing can go pretty fast, can it?
Yeah, it goes pretty quick, but that's one of the older Skag models, so I don't think it goes as fast as the newer ones.
I'm still kind of like lobbing some of the older mowers, even an X-Mark, like those older ones were built so much better than some of the new stuff is today. Like check out like your washer, your dryer, your dishwasher, or your refrigerator, Greg. Like the stuff that was in the 70s and 80s that stuff's built better than the junk we have today. It's all from China.
We have the Maytag washer and dryer. When we moved into our house, the owners we bought it off the owners, and
Yeah.
I had to have some service done on it one day. And the guy came in, and this is right around the time when all the front mount washing machines were coming out. And he basically looked at me and said, "Don't ever get rid of this." And he said these other things that are coming out, the front load dishwasher, the front load washing machines, he said are terrible. And I've been babying my washer and dryer, so I've replaced a bunch of stuff on them, and they just keep going. They're at this point they're let me see, we moved in here 98, and they were 3 years old, so these things are 30 years old now, and they're
Yeah,
still
we
going
bought a
strong.
front loader Whirlpool, Greg, 4 or 5 years ago, and I think I told you, Greg, the front door on it, like the plastic door handle, cracked a little bit, and they covered that under warranty. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. How about how about you, Raleigh? As we go from mowers to mowers to washers, how's your washing machine over there?
Oh, it's a piece of trash.
See, it's a free for all here on the live stream, guys. It's predominantly mowing, but then Greg and I can talk about African basket weaving. You name it, we talk about it.
I don't know anything about African basket weaving.
This is why Greg said it's personal. This is why you had said you were kind of slower today, is because he was weaving baskets. So,
Yeah. So, but no, the mowers. I've got that X mark, that walk behind. That's
yeah,
I think that's a 2012 or 2014. I can't remember. And it goes strong. It's got no issues with it at all.
you
It's
know the
just the
horsepower
fact that
on that.
I'm sorry.
Do you know the horsepower on that? So I had the X Mark X Series walk behind. Sold it to Greg, but that thing's been a champ for you, Greg, hasn't it?
Yeah, actually, funny part, I'm hardly even using it anymore because a little shift in the lawns I'm cutting, so I haven't even taken it out in over a month, probably. It's just, I think it's got the 26 horse in it, and it's got a
really?
Kohler in it,
Wow. Oh yeah.
and it's a decent, it's a really good mower. It cuts really well. It's just that your body's abused if you have to use it. It's my backup mower, and by the end of that day, my body's just abused by using that thing. So if I don't have to use it, I prefer not to. So, but it's
Raleigh,
a good mower. It's strong. It's solid.
Your buddy AJ, so he does lawn care like really part time, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a walk behind mower, or is he pushing something?
Yeah, he has a walk behind. It's an X Mark Viking. It's literally like a 2004 model.
Oh, holy smokes! Miles just sold an X Mark 72-inch diesel 2004 for 777 hours on it. I ran it 700 plus those hours. Just sold. Have a use for it, but no room in the trailer. So moving to another stand on 04 when X Mark was legit. Oh, but so how many lawns does AJ mow, Raleigh?
It's like 4 or 5 or something. It's not very much right now. He's lost a little, then he adds in a little bit, and
Well, he's got a
he's
full-time job though, right?
yeah.
What's he do again?
He's a custodian at our local
good.
high school.
So then, how do you know him? Is it just friends who just grew up there in the same town?
Yeah, so he when my dad went to the church that I'm pastoring right now, so my dad pastored it before I did, and I met AJ there, and we became best friends while I was there, and then I became his pastor after that. So
So no longer best friends, just the pastor, right?
yeah, but well, a little bit of both. But yeah, so we've been friends since I was about 13 or something.
Now, Raleigh, you guys talked about now. Do you have a push mower, Raleigh? Because AJ was ripping on the Toro Time Master.
Yeah, the one I sold to him.
I personally liked the Toro Time Master. When I had one,
Mhm.
it was great. Nothing bogged down on it. It just cut through about anything. Like it cut through a giant wall. But I mean, so you sold that or you gave that to him?
Yeah, so I sold it to him, and then it messed up, and he said he didn't care to fix it because it wasn't worth it to him. So, I don't. I mean, I have some normal push mowers. I got a self-propelled mower over here, and every time I've ever put it in the back of my trailer, I just begin to realize that I have no use for it over and over again. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to carry this thing around anymore.
So what's it doing? Just sitting?
Yeah, it just sits there and looks ugly.
What's the brand?
They're just the cheap ones like Craftsman or whatever. Just nothing that like I'm definitely not buying a nice push mower. I mean, for the amount of times I would use it.
You ever looked at those? My buddy had a Skag 30-inch commercial push mower. Those are
Mhm.
pretty nice, and or like
Mhm.
even the X Mark or the Toro. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to spend $3,000 on a 30-inch push mower.
No.
No,
No.
I'm not. I'm not going to spend any money on a push mower at all. So, I just had a guy that a guy had cut his lawn, and he approached me, and I cut his business lawn, and he approached me and asked me if he's going to be out of town this week, and asked me if I'd cut his lawn for him, and he told me what he had, and I said I don't have a push mower, and he looked at me like, what lawn guy doesn't have a push mower? Yeah. And I just said, I said, let me go take a look at it and see. And I called him or I texted him and said, I can mow your front yard, but I'd have to trim your back. It's a small
Yep.
backyard. And so I said, all I can do is trim the backyard. I don't have a push. And I couldn't take my Bobcat down a few stairs. So
Oh, you can see Greg or I trying to take the multi-force of the Bobcat down the stair. Oh, yeah, if the backyard's just small enough. Yeah. Speaking of that, Greg, I had told you this. I had a client. He's got a patch of grass in his backyard, so the front yard takes 4 passes. He's got a nice pool in the backyard and then a patch of grass, and he keeps trying to grow. These clients are crazy. They try to grow grass in the dark, in the shade. They're like, why isn't it growing? I'm like, you're in the middle of the woods. You're trying to grow grass, and on top of that, you don't water and you don't cut any of your trees. You're not getting any sunlight. Anyways, the grass is finally like looking good back there. Then he gets all picky about it. He's a good guy. A lot of guys in the neighborhood hate him though, but I like him because he's a Trumper, so he's okay. So, anyways, he goes, "So can you go back to like a push mower? I heard you got one. I don't know how he heard that I got a push mower. I must have said something, or he listens to the podcast, which I doubt it. Dennis, if you ever listen to this, okay, he won't listen to it. So I said, no, I'm not push mowing like 3 passes. I'll just trim it. He goes, it doesn't look even. I'm like, okay. So I said, hey, why don't you go on Amazon and buy me a like manual push mower that has like the blade, like the manual one. So I bought like a 16-inch Black & Decker that I push mow his backyard with, and you have to go fast with it, Greg. It's like they're kind of hard to use because you have to keep that rotary blade going. Like the old like 1950s push mower. It's crazy.
or a gang mower.
Yeah.
That's
like an
what
old
he-
manual one.
Oh wow, I can't. Well, you can't worry about grass blowing into his pool, then I guess, right?
No.
So,
I
but
think-
no,
Yeah.
I'm not pushing anymore, and the guy looked at me kind of surprised, so I just said I don't do it. So, and bagging, I had the guy. I started to say earlier that guy wanted me to bag, and I said I don't need a bagger with this mower. And then this year he let me go because he found somebody that would bag. But I can't even get a bagger. I've got that side catcher. I wouldn't even be able to get it in his yard, in his backyard. So
Oh
it's
no.
just the
Yeah,
way
and
his yard was.
I had a guy, Raleigh. Oh, have you ever had a guy who? Well, I still have this client. Like every spring, would make me bag it on like the first cut, like before the cut. Like you ever have a client like that? Like, oh, just the first cut. I want you to suck up all the dead grass. I'm like, it doesn't make a difference. Like your lawn's already irrigated. It's like already nice. I don't need to do that.
No, I've never had a client like that. The bag, like, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody like bagging over here, except maybe like a residential person, but never like any commercial people. I've never seen that. People around here, they literally don't care about their yard. I mean, some people do. I mean, but most of the people that even care about that just want it to look short all the time. So it's not even, they're not even worried about, like, I don't know if I've hardly ever had a client say that they want stripes. They're just like, make it short and I'll pay
Straight
you.
my weeds.
Right. Right. I mean, it's like, who cares? Most of them, they don't care. They just want it short and not have to pay a whole lot. So that's kind of how it is around here.
Okay, before we wrap it up, because I'm tired and Greg is beat from the day. Tell the story. You told this on your podcast, guys. If you want to listen to the East Kentucky Lawn Care Bros podcast, hosted by the Raleigh Spencer, funded on all platforms, What about that one lawn that you bid? It was in your van, and you drove down like this, like was it through the
Oh,
woods or something like that? Like you almost got stuck. Like it was
that was
ridiculous, wasn't it?
yeah. So this guy, he calls me. Well, yeah, I think he either called me or texted me, and I was talking to him. It was a text. So I was like, "So what's the address?" And he was like, "Well, it doesn't have an address. It's got coordinates." And I was like, "Really? Okay."
Arr.
Yeah. So I was like, "All right," but sometimes that happens when people buy land or whatever. So it's outside of our town, and I was gonna have to add extra onto it if I was gonna do it anyways. But I was like, I'll go take a look. So me and AJ actually were together on this. So we were driving my minivan. We're going down a blacktop road. Then it turns into gravel, which I mean, gravel's pretty common down here. So it wasn't too big of a deal. Well, then it leads us onto another gravel road off of the main one, and
Oh
it
boy.
starts turning into like this 4-wheeler trail type of gravel road. And I was like, okay, well, we'll just try to go down in here. I mean, it was tight on the side of my vans. It was pretty tight going down in there. Well, we kept going, and then finally we get to this bottom of this hill, and there's this giant mud puddle. I mean, there was no way I'd ever make it through that. So I had to back up forever to even get out of there. But I told AJ, should we even try to do this? Like, I mean, to even go over here. He said, let's just walk. So we walked. There's a huge rut. It would have tore out the bottom of my vehicle. Get up there. The grass, I mean, it's like knee high, and it's not even grass. It's
Man.
just weeds all over the place.
Oh boy.
And the guy, I even tell the guy at the end, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm that interested. He's like, we usually get it mowed like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year or something. And I was like,
What?
yeah, I was like, are you serious? I'm like, if you would have told me that, I wouldn't even went out here and looked at it.
Oh.
Well, why didn't he call the guy that cut it before? Probably for the.
It was probably him. I guess he brought his own mower or something, but I'm like, well, you're gonna have to keep doing it because I'm not. I said, I'm not doing that 2 or 3 times a year.
Wow.
It's a good way to land the plane on that, which we always preach this, but then we don't do it. Really vet the clients before you go bid the job, right? And I still do it too. It's like you don't ask enough questions and you go over there and you go, oh crap, I just blew half an hour on something that I'm not even gonna do. So it's like, oh well, you kind of live and you kind of learn through that. But we hope you guys enjoyed this little live stream here. I think I'm gonna go hop over there and tuck Greg in bed. He looks tired. You want to join me, Raleigh? we can go tuck Greg in bed.
Hello, this is Greg.
Bedtime stories with Uncle Greg.
You know what?
Bedtime stories with Uncle Greg.
We should, Greg. That's another new segment.
That's going to be a
new
good
segment. Yeah.
Uncle Greg's gregariousness. Bedtime stories with Greg Durbin.
And that would be the Goodnight Moon. You guys know that one, Goodnight Moon?
Yes.
Yeah.
We read that to JD. So
Now, here's the thing. Have you noticed the clock in Goodnight Moon?
this could be a gregariousness segment here. Oh man.
And
I'm tempted.
and I tell you what, I think I am the only person that ever noticed the clock. Anybody
Wait,
I've
hold
ever
that.
talked to
One
doesn't
sec.
notice the clock.
And now it's time for Uncle Greg's gregariousness.
Hello, this is Greg.
Really? Okay, don't remember the whole story. I might even have one might be behind me here, as a matter of fact. But Goodnight Moon, when you're looking at the book, when you're reading it to the kids, look at the clock. The clock changes time throughout every page you turn. So as you go through the night, the clock keeps changing time. So I've never noticed anybody else that's ever noticed that before. And then the mouse, you got to chase the mouse. Look around for the mouse as well. So there's a little fun fact note for you that not many people know.
Well, I never knew that. I mean, we have that book, and that book's really old. This has been
Yeah.
like kind of eye opening tonight. Well, he's gonna go find it. This is great. This is why we do it.
We'll do it live.
All right, we're gonna end it. You can find that book, Greg. See you guys.